Hi, John. How are you today?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Doing great, great. Thank you so much for being a guest on my podcast, Blossoming to Your Greatness. I really appreciate that.
It's the least I can do, and I'm really excited to be here. And yeah, I heard a lot of great things about the things you're doing. So this is good stuff.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Blossoming to Your Greatness is a podcast that is supported by Wings of Love Women's Ministry. So we help build the self-esteem of women who have suffered domestic violence abuse and other setbacks. So Blossoming to Your Greatness is a division of that. And today, my guest is Jon Bowles, who's a financial advisor. He's locally recognized as a financial advisor in Pasadena, California, and he's established JLB Financial Incorporated in the fall of 2009. Jon's experience includes 24 years in the financial services industry, working with hundreds of clients to help build and execute comprehensive retirement income plans. Having worked through two significant financial downturns, he understands the importance of preserving capital for his clients, making it a cornerstone goal in his practice. JLB Financial Incorporated has been assisting clients in planning for complex financial goals for almost 24 years. Whether you are working toward retirement, tax planning strategies, or just looking to update an existing estate plan, risk management concerns, they can help you. Welcome, Jon. Thank you so much.
Well, that sounds so great hearing it come from your voice.
Oh, thank you. So
You
tell us
just don't.
about yourself in your own words.
Well, as you mentioned, I've been doing financial planning now for almost 24 years, going into our 25th year. I was born and raised here in Los Angeles, California, by a single mother who raised five boys, and she now has five men in her life.
Okay,
And
great.
most importantly, though, for me, it's, in my immediate circle is God, my wife, and my family, my three kids. So
Okay.
as most entrepreneurs work towards goals and objectives, the number one focus is always how to take care of your family. And
Yes.
fortunately for us, education has been a big value in my family. And as a result, now my 19-year-old daughter is at the University of Michigan, and she's a sophomore. My 17-year-old son will be graduating soon and going off to college at Loyola, the University of Chicago. And then
Okay.
our youngest, who's our wonderful surprise, is 11 years old, and her name is Monroe. And my son's name is Zachary, and Monroe's here with us, and she
Okay.
can't wait to be an empty nester.
That's wonderful. That's great. That's wonderful. So how long have you been in business?
I've been in business for 24 years, 25th years coming up soon. I started out at a place called Dean Witter, which for most people may not know who that is, but we always used to joke years ago how you'd basically get stocks and socks by going into Sears Roebuck, and that's where Dean Witter was born out of. And then shortly thereafter, it became Morgan Stanley Dean Witter, and I really got to see what it was like to work as a distribution channel for a big investment bank. So that was exciting. And about 2009 is when I went independent as an independent financial advisor. And it's been all about, flying by the seat of your pants, being an entrepreneur, and really having that goal and thrust of creating something that is sustainable.
Okay, wonderful. Great. Wow, excellent. So what inspired you to start your business, Jon?
Well, it's kind of a long story, but I'll give you the Cliff Note version. And essentially, at the time I was dating my girlfriend, who's now my wife, obviously, of 23 years, she challenged me to do what it was I wanted to do. I was born and raised, like I mentioned, here in Los Angeles, and I didn't come from a family of wealth. There's no Rockefeller behind my name or anything like that. And I thought of all these reasons why I couldn't become a stockbroker at that time. And she looked at me and kind of smiled and says, "Wow, all of those are basically excuses." And at that point, I looked at her and she told me, "Hey, take it easy. You look like you're getting a little upset. I'm just trying to encourage you to go for what it is you want in life. I think you're capable of doing just about anything." And so long and short of it was I ended up quitting my job going and working 7 days a week to get my licenses. And then Dean Wittert hired me. And, 24 years later, here we are.
Okay, wonderful. Excellent, excellent. So what are some of your short-term and long-term goals, Jon?
Well, the short-term goals are why I'm on the podcast today with you, and that is to just continue to spread, this idea of giving and being a resource. There's a guy by the name of Bob Berg that has this Go Giver sort of book series where he's going into taking on this philosophy of a go-giver mentality. And essentially what it means is you're going to give and give and give and give till it almost hurts. But as a result of all the giving and all the resourcefulness, this comes back to you tenfold. And as a result, people get to see your true, colors. They get to see that you are somebody that is concerned about their well-being, and you are somebody that doesn't just talk the talk, but walk the walk. Because most of the time, people are somewhat self-centered and narcissistic, and they only are thinking about themselves and what they can get out of life opposed to what they can give to life. So short term, that's what I'm trying to do. And then longer term, really helping to prepare families and individuals for certainty of uncertainty. I'll say that again, the certainty of uncertainty. I mean, we all know that in life, we're going to get, quote unquote, a curveball. But more than anything, I think right now, most people are unaware that anyone, and most retirees, baby boomers that are 65 years and older, that roughly 7 out of 10 of them are going to need some form of long-term care in their future. And we're trying to make sure that people understand that they can't rely on anyone other than themselves to prepare for these things and get ready for them. So that's why we're doing these longer term things of trying to make sure everyone's aware of these preparedness ideas and concepts. And I co-wrote a book called Protecting Your Assets with Tax-Free Long-Term Care. And I wanted to make sure you got a copy of it, which you did, so it's great.
Yes, I did.
But we do want to make sure to have that as a resource for some of your listeners that are open to it.
Okay, wonderful. Yes, absolutely. And how can people get your book?
Well, essentially, we're willing to give right now eight copies of the book out, free of cost. We'll cover the shipping and we'll get them to you. You just have to reach out to either my email, which I think we'll have in the show notes, for lack of a better word. And then also, if they were to reach out to my cell phone, they could also call me, reach out to the website, which is also going to be in the show notes. And then as a result, we'll get the copy of the book out. If they don't chime in or reach out those first 8, then we'll figure out something beyond 8 to where it's going to be very cost efficient and cost effective for them. But we definitely want to make sure they have a chance to get a copy of it.
Okay, well, please tell us specifically your email and website.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Yeah, my email address is my first name, Jon, Jon, at JLB Financial inc.com. So it's Jon at jlbfinancialinc.com. And then my phone number is 323-547-8990. Again, 323-547-8990.
Okay, great. So tell us, how does your company impact the community?
Well, for us, a lot of the work we're doing specifically now has been around the idea of tax planning strategies. Many people aren't aware, and I'm sure you're well aware of this, that the tax code, basically 25% of it tells you about the taxes you have to pay, but then the other 75% of the tax code talks about how you can either defer and or avoid taxes. Not avoid them in a sense that you don't pay them, but pay them to the least amount potentially possible. So in doing that, we find that we're able to help our clients with their charitable planning by encouraging them to give to their church by helping them understand that, the perpetuity of their church, the perpetuity of their ministry is an important thing in their life. And 85 to 95% of the time they agree, but they're unaware that they actually can do it because they're not aware that it's more than just tithing, that you can actually gift part of your IRA, you can give part of your estate, you can just do different things that also can benefit you while you're alive, but then also continue to benefit the perpetuity of the church. And then we
Right.
also offer internships to college students. So we're
Okay,
definitely
great.
trying to make an impact to help spread the opportunity that exists within the financial service business.
Okay, wonderful. Excellent. So do you have any advice that you would share to our listening audience?
Well, the advice I would recommend most people, and this is very general, but very fundamental, is that you can't spend every dime you make, right? And people
You
will
can't.
say, well, duh, right? Of course. What kind of advice is that? But the bottom line is very hard to earn a dollar, spend 50 cents, and then save the 50 cents, right? And I'm sure most people have heard this for a very long time, and that is you want to pay yourself first. And the idea there is to obviously have money moving from your check prior to that check entering your bank account. So if you have the ability to set up some form of 401k and or an IRA and or a 401 Roth account, something to where it's an automated scenario where your money gets paid to you, but before it hits direct deposit to your bank account, money's being moved somewhere else. So that's kind of, a very fundamental, basic thing for people that are starting out. But then those that are really near retirement, right, where our target market right now is between the age of 55 and about 68 years old, because
Yeah.
people are trying to figure out what to do with those dollars they've saved and how to keep more of those dollars. Because right now, the government is coming for your money. And I say that in the best way possible. But the reality is there's $31 trillion of a federal budget deficit. And the $31 trillion, that's a T, the government has no way of understanding how to square that away. Medicare is going to go defunct. There's not going to be any money for Medicare. And then Social Security, they're projecting to cut the Social Security benefits by about 25% come 2030, 2031, if the federal government does nothing to fix these things. So it's not doom and gloom by any stretch, but you definitely have to plan and you definitely have to find people that you can trust and believe in to know that they have your best interest at heart.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
So I'm sorry, I'll get off my soapbox. This is just something I'm very passionate about. And I think that we cannot rely on anyone other than ourselves. And it really, you really have the ability to gather the information. There's so much information available today now, more than ever, that you can do the research and gather things and just be patient and take your time. But definitely open up Google, punch questions in, and you're going to get answers to help provide information to you and your family.
Okay. Well, I think that you would be a good resource as a financial advisor to help cut back on the research.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that. I definitely am open to helping. We have things that we can articles, we can recommend books that you read. We definitely can be a resource. And I appreciate you saying that.
Okay, sure. Yeah. So please repeat again how people can connect with you and contact you.
So you can send me an email. Then the best email address again is Jon at JLBFinancialInc.com. That's my best email address. And they can also call me on my cell phone, which is 323-547-8990.
Okay, great. Wonderful. Well, thank you so very much, Jon, for being my guest today. I really appreciate your time and support, and God bless you and your family.
God bless you. I'm very impressed with all the things that you're doing. You
Well, thank you.
continue to do them year and year and year out. And I just think we can learn so much and take such guidance from you. So I could see exactly why you are experiencing the success you're experiencing. So keep up the hard work. We need more people like you.
Well, thank you so much. God bless you.
You're welcome. Thanks again.
Thank you.